Hey, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all things that are buzzing. Hey, listen, I'm going to try and do an audio podcast while I sit here and have lunch. I posted a picture of a lunch, and one of the reasons I'm not doing a video is because in between this broadcast, I'm going to stuff my face with the taste of Wakanda. I've got some mac and cheese, I've got some oxtails, I've got some cabbage, and of course I got the rice and beans with the extra gravy. Now, this is not my ordinary meal, thank God, because of the price. You know, eating good and the taste of Wakanda ain't cheap. Oxtails are not cheap. We all know that. Hey, Chandon. So, listen, if you have not, and I did not put spoiler alert on this because I was like, maybe we want to talk about it, but I think we are. I think we're going to talk about it because I'm going to read your comments as we go along here. First and foremost, hey, Rick Wright, and I know a Rick White as well. Let me get some people invited in because they will come in, like, share, and let's see if we can get a couple more people up in here. Let them know that we are live. What are you guys having for lunch? Did you have a taste for Wakanda today? Did you go out and get the taste of Wakanda? Are you following the hashtag Taste of Wakanda, which is actually about to hit the Fashion Week? And I saw that, but already I have seen it went from a couple of posts to thousands of posts where people are talking about. Because the one thing, surprisingly, that we did not see in the movie, even though they had all of the pageantry going on of what do you call it? Ceremonial inauguration of a new king, we didn't really get a chance to see them sit down for a meal. We didn't get to see that part of it, and then they went across a couple of continents, so we really didn't get to see what the food would look like, and there's so much of it. Now, there's so much, we got to dial it back to have this conversation. The overtopness, the thirst of belonging, the celebration, the cosplay, dressing up and going out. The division between those who are diehard comic book readers, they was waiting to have their moment with this movie. And here comes, as always, black mainstream. I didn't say mainstream, I said black mainstream. Because that's always the case when people passionately love something and they support it to the point that it could be adopted into our mainstream. Then they get mad because it's captured the attention of the mainstream. So there's so many things going on with this movie, not to mention what it has inspired. I think the interview that we shared that Ryan Coogler did with Variety, where he talked about it. First of all, you got a chance to really hear his voice, and you don't really get a chance to discover directors if you're not a DVD person, right? Hey, Barry Little, Karen Campbell, if you're not a DVD person, like the movie comes out, if you're only streaming it online, whether you pay for it or not, if you only enjoyed it on television, those things, you're not actually running out and getting that DVD, then you don't really get a chance to get the behind the scenes stuff and really get into the mind of the director. What happens is, and why, and we discovered this when we started the book club, which we do on Wednesdays in stores. Well, I was like, why is the DVD section why is the DVD section larger than the book selection, right? And it's because people who love DVDs, they know that these DVDs have extra features. And one of the reasons we talked about, and I keep wanting to say Black Planet, but Black Panther is why it's going to be epic all year long, because the movie came out. And we go talking. Now, mind you, all of my conversations. I have to give a disclaimer, and I don't like disclaimers, but I have to give a disclaimer. We have a conversation that involves three facets of us: the consumer side, the creative side, and also the capitalist side. So we were bouncing, intertwined between where we are as consumers, running out and spending $300 million in ticket sales for the movie. There's the creative side for those filmmakers who needed that money 2 years ago in order to make the movie. And then we're on the capitalist side of it, those people who money we all spend it, right? You go and do a little something for the capitalists, they give you something called a paycheck. Or you might be a capitalist. You're looking at all that's happening around you, and you're trying to figure out, well, hey, how do I get in that supply chain, right? If that's your mindset, then you're in the capitalist part of it. So when we have a conversation on any platform that DryerBuzz is a part of, and the guys, I'm gonna have to really check my phone, because I got this new iPhone 10 and it is not doing well with iPhone audio. And no Apple product is doing well with iPhone audio, so I don't want it to cut off on it. So I'm gonna really kind of keep an eye on it, because it will give me a heat warning. And this is already a replacement phone. They've not yet figured it out. I guess it's just gonna have to blow up on me before we get new phones. So right now, all my iPhone 10 users are being shuffled all over the place as to what, and already this phone is a little warm. And I closed all the apps, so y'all, if anything happens in the midst of this broadcast, please blame Apple, because this phone is, and I don't know if it's Apple or Facebook, or just take a whole lot of processing for this phone to process this audio. Susanna, welcome in. Eddie, welcome in. Okay, so when we have a discussion, disclaimer, we have it from three different points of view: the consumer, the creative, and the capitalist. So back to the consumer side of it. Again, those of you who are big mad because the movie went totally mainstream, and people went to see the movie who hadn't read the comic strip for 20 years and didn't know that Black Panther was introduced in the 60s and has had all these variations. And, let us discover this, because that means that by mainstream going to, y'all gonna have a really good convention coming up for those of you that support the convention. So already I have talked about it from the capitalist side of it, meaning that the DVD, the 4 quarters of this movie, they've got the licensing, they've got the television version, they've got the all the different what do you call it? The distribution on Netflix and all those things. So they got like a whole year to come of this movie, not to mention these amazing comic conventions that take place all summer long, which means that these actors, now mind you, the actors we learned from Monique is like, they get paid to make the movie. They ain't getting no extra money to be traveling all over the country and doing all these interviews and all that kind of stuff. And once you get that check, you got that check. Now, mind you, they want this movie to do other things so they can continue to get those checks, and they won't really see probably more money until it gets into that licensing phase, or, in other forms of distribution, which, we need to figure out why we aren't more into that side of it. Hey, JL King. So we got to figure out why we aren't into more side of that. And the funny thing about this, I love that the whole crash and burn scenario of things that happen between Sony and Kevin Hart, and then Monique and Netflix, because we really get a chance to see what actors have been dealing with. My hope is that we will then begin to appreciate the work a little bit more of the creative. Think about it. Ryan Coogler, that beautiful movie that he made, he had to go and sit down to the table. First of all, to say, hey, look, let's let Ryan take on this movie. He's done Fruitvale. He's done this. He graduated here. He did this project, that project. He's ready. He can bring this to the public and Star Wars proportions, right? So that's amazing. But at the same time, this is why they always tell us, go see the movie opening weekend. And I'm that blogger said, stop begging me to see a black movie. I wrote the blog about it. Stop begging me to see a black movie. Stop giving me the sob story. Just market to me. Just give me some commercials. Do some media buys on my favorite radio stations. Invite my bloggers to the red carpets and all those kind of stuff. And then, hey, June, and then allow us to make that consumer decision. Don't keep coming to us with the pity parties. And so they were like, hey, look, let's just market this movie. Let's let everybody know it's already got a following, a comic following. Here's how we really going to manipulate the emotions by, we're going to get the unity thing going on. And you know what? The movie just happened to hit at the right time. The movie hit at the right time. And that's a science that they've been trying to figure out forever. They were trying to figure it out with Tyler Perry. They were trying to figure it out since the days of Paul Robeson, okay? And all those in between. It ain't new. It just, when it is that time. And this is why you see a lot of creatives pull projects back. Let's just put it on the shelf. It ain't the right time. right? And then when you bring it back at the right time, this is what happens. It works. Every step of it, everything comes together. As I sit here looking at my oxtails and my mac and cheese, that picture you see right there above you, yeah, that's my Taste of Wakanda lunch, Cornelius. So everything comes together. And I'm going to say that to you. Like, I remember when I wrote 27, not even a shameless plug, it's what I do, I plug. 27 Answers. Before it was 27 Answers, it was called something about the depression, and it was called something about being broke, and I had to shelve that project. I had to shelve DryerBuzz. I remember when I first wanted to do DryerBuzz, I had to shelve DryerBuzz for 2 years. I wanted it to come out in 2000, but guess what? I think Clint was president, the stock market was crashing, companies were like, no, we're not advertising no more. We barely got a business, Leonard Jones, and I had to shelve DryerBuzz for 2 years and go back and research, because here I was thinking I'm gonna walk up in the bank, get all of this money to create this nice glossy, and it's gonna be distributed in all these salons. They were like, well, you know how many salons and barbershops there is, and you want to put out a glossy and da 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 da. And it's going to take all of your debt, your savings, everything. I'm like, wait a minute, let me rethink this thing. And I remember shelving it and going, my mother said, okay, I'm going to give you 2 years to do some research. Then you're going to have to if you don't get this thing out, you're going to go get a job. And I'll never forget that. I'm like, let me go do my research. And I had to go and do research. And that's how I know to come out as a digital publication. It's like, okay, well, we do it as a digital publication. Then we don't have to use up all our savings. We don't have to take all that risk in a Clinton presidency. And we can begin to build and make these connections and, pioneer this industry, right? Here sitting, that's all hindsight. Because let me tell you, the first 10 years, my mother was looking at me like a crazy. This girl of mine is crazy. What is she talking about? What is this thing that she's doing? Just imagine Ryan Coogler 2 years ago, walking in there. He says, okay, I'll do this movie. I want to do this movie. And he coming with his boy, Michael B. Jordan, because Michael B. Jordan is in all of Ryan Coogler's projects. Can't wait for the new Creed to come out, and then the vision. And I posted today, how did he create? Because the vision was out there. How did he create this world of Wakanda in Hollywood where all these types of images are suppressed? How did he get it through there? Not only that, how did he get the budget? How did he get the screens? Because, again, we just went from consumer over to I think we even jumped through the creative side over to the capitalist side. We kind of caught up in between the two. How did he get the screens? I mean, there's so many questions. There's so many things that people are asking about this movie. Let's go back to the consumer side of it. The unity, the fact that I know I'm going back to see it again. If I wanted to go see the IMAX, but those that went to the IMAX version said that they had problems. Several people said they had ticket problems, but that's always in a large mainstream box office. Here come a horde of black consumers. We don't know how to really service them. And, that whole panicking situation that goes on whenever there's a mass appeal of African Americans. Oh, and I wanted to say, please don't think this is going to hold over to the wrinkle of time, because Oprah Winfrey done already told y'all she trying to get back in the matrix with the diversity stuff. So, y'all might want to tread lightly on taking all this unity over to a wrinkle of time. Oprah done shared her copy of Old Magazine, which she done shared the cover, which she don't rarely do. So, let's just let her do her. And, I think she won't take Ava with her. But y'all just be careful trying to take this unity on up into the next movie. Because that's what happens push the Oprah stuff aside. When they see movies like this, because, Will Smith box office dropped off. They got Will Smith over there doing Instagram and YouTube, trying to get his people back up so he can go back into becoming the $100 million box office. Because believe it or not, people, just a few short years ago, raking in $100 million at the box office was the average. That used to be the average weekend movie take, whether you came out on a holiday or on just a Good Friday weekend, right? You didn't need nothing special. You were gonna get $100 million because that was the way in which people entertained themselves, and that was going to the movies on a Friday night, a Saturday night. Then it was hot to have a nice midnight showing on Thursday. Greetings, Queen. Hey, y'all take. It was good to have a midnight screen. You did good if you got a midnight screening in there because you had to wait till 12 o'clock. Late Thursday night was Friday morning, so they would always try to ease that in there. But now they got these advanced ticket sales. They can sell the tickets. Used to be they couldn't sell the tickets early, and so some of that stuff has been relaxed. But like I said, keep in mind. It used to be really easy to get $100 million out of folk. I mean, Tyler Perry, just throw on a dress and a wig and he would hit $100 million. Then it dropped to 80, then 60, then 40, and now barely a movie on a domestic side because there's still a lot of controversy as to which movies they go global with. But on the domestic side, they might make $20 million. They might make $40 million. And that's a good day. And if you get 60, you doing well. But to know this movie, and I told y'all this movie was going to do $200 million because I was looking at the marketing of it and how well they manipulated the emotions. And in fact, the matter is, it still just came out at exactly the right time. It came out with the right timing. But to know that where has it been for 2 years since they filmed it, went to the film festivals, and I'm going back and I'm looking at early on footage and interviews that people did. A lot of the interviews that you're seeing now, those interviews, I mean, like really, if you saw an interview of any of the characters in their costume, in their apparel for the movie, that means that was done 2 years ago, 2 years ago. And then some of those red carpet interviews that you see were actually at film festivals, which would have been a year ago, after they got the movie ready. So all of that had to take place before it actually ended up on the wide release opening weekend, because for award purposes, the movie might have opened here or there just to get within proper guidelines. Hey, Billie Holiday, Joel Francis as well. A lot of this stuff goes on. So now again, the conversation we bouncing around. Shout out to those again who are upset that what they call us, the Johnny come latelys, jumping on this movie when it has been when it was the passion of the comic book. And I'm like, look, I'm glad y'all had y'all comic books, but let the movie do what it do. What else do we want to talk about? We didn't really talk about, I don't really want to get in. I want to wait till I do a video to really talk about some of the aspects of the movie. What's a good review? I don't want to talk about, I really still don't want to give any spoilers because today being President's Day, there's still a lot of people out seeing the movie, whereas government offices and schools are closed. I know a lot of people are still going to see it today. There's a lot of talk out there as far as the dynamics of the movie. And here's where we have a problem is, whatever the dialogue is, let it happen. Hey, Gerald E. Evans. Yes, wait, I will see it tomorrow. And I said come Monday, but we're going to give you one more day. But whatever the dialogue is, let it happen. Whatever this group feels or that group feels, just let it happen. One of the things is, I know me being a great debater, and I love to debate. I love great debates. I can always respect another person's opinion. You might not pull me to your side or into your understanding, as long as you continue to believe what you believe, and I believe, unless one of us is just outright and clearly wrong. But this is art, and we will look at the screen, sit there through the same amount of time and see something entirely different. I saw something like some people saying, well, why everybody got to make it so deep? Well, you might not have the critical and the analytical skill to break this down or to compare it. You might live in a world that's unbothered, but for the rest of us that's been looking around here, a lot of this stuff that's going on, and for some of us that know what has to happen on that screen in order for it to get made, in order for it to get funded, in order for it to get the amount of screens that they got, there are certain things that have to happen to appease certain people, and I ain't even talking about just certain ethnicity. I'm talking about some black folk too, right? And so when I hear people, the thing that bothers me the most is when this is what I took away from the movie, because one of the discussions prior to Black Panther. Oh, lots of comments. Let me read that. Yeah, wait, hold on. Hold your thoughts. Hold your thoughts, please. You still wearing that makeup from yesterday? You, Billie Holiday. No, unfortunately, I took the makeup off, which is probably one of the reasons I did the audio version of this, because I came home and I took that stuff up. Although my daughter is a makeup artist, we can go that route at any time. But one of the things that I took away from the movie, and we had this discussion, one of the things is there are no real spoilers in the movie, okay? Whether you talk about this happened to that person, that happened to that person, because it is, in fact, the comic book, right? So there are some people that were well aware of the story, and there are those who were waiting for the next layer and the next layer and the next layer. But the different conversations that are happening out of it, like prior to this movie, when there's a television series called Black Lightning that came on, that's on CW here in Atlanta, and there's a discussion about the burden of the black superhero that came when that television series came on, and I've been trying to watch it and binge on it. And in that series, there's a guy who's a superhero, and I don't know the backstory because I've only seen a couple of episodes. People are like, well, why is he having to, if he's a superhero, and yet he can't get off his block to really go save the world. And so there's this thing that's out there about the black superhero, while everybody else is fighting the galaxy, the black superhero just ends up dealing with the problems on his block in his neighborhood. And that's where a lot of this stuff comes. Now, there may be some other ethnic groups that can relate to that, but as far as we're concerned, that's the problem, because it ended up being a problem in Black Panther. It's like, whoa, they got all this technology and all this stuff, and we really gonna sit here and watch him and his cousin fight? Because one thing people came away, no spoilers, but they were like, they wanted more fight scenes. They wanted more of this. Everybody had an expectation of the movie, and I didn't think about that, because me, I was like, well, why did they have a feast? I'm talking about the food. Like, where was the food of Wakanda? We saw the herb. I love how they said the herb. When Angela Bassett said, give me the herb, I kept trying to figure out, what are they saying? What is that stuff? What is it? The herb. Can I get the herb? I'm sorry. I love to laugh. So, and I tell you, everybody else was like so emotional. Everybody's talking about how emotional they were in the movie, and they cried. Y'all, them people were looking at me because I was laughing so freaking hard. Because it's a comic thing. It's not. Let me say this: anybody going to that movie and thinking it's like some Shaka Zulu kind of stuff? No, I know everybody got you thinking it's like the best of Africa and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, were they on Earth? Because I don't know. It looked like spaceships to me. Was Wakanda on Earth? I don't know. I didn't read the comics. I'm like, all I know it was filmed in Atlanta. So we feel like we're at Wakanda. And Atlanta and Oakland is like, wait, Oakland talking about, no, we're Wakanda. Because, we are the original home of the Black Panther Party. I'm like, I don't care. Atlanta guys, we literally like online debating like this, right? They like, Oakland and California, like, no, it's California because it's the home of the original Black Panther Party. We like, well, hey, it was filmed in Atlanta, right there on the block with the MLK Center. So, who is Wakanda? So that's the big debate about who is actually Wakanda. But the thing about it is, we're all Wakanda. Hell, they went over to Asia, okay, Korea. I'm like, so they Wakanda too, it's all Wakanda. So anyway, that's the funny part. I laughed so hard. I thought there were so many funny parts in the movie. While yes, there was, it just wasn't heavy to me. And I didn't go there to be heavy. I didn't go there to get an African education. But I ain't got no problem with it. If somebody was exposed to something they had never seen before, I love it. I love it. And I hope that, and I'm glad, I'm so good. I love what I saw. And let me tell you, talk about finding yourself in the supply chain. Ain't nobody mad that there was this big renaissance of cosplay between African Americans. Ain't nobody mad, because they're hoping that you have already gone out there and registered for Dragon Con, Comic Con, MomoCon, there was a black, it was an all black, I don't know if it was all black or and I don't even remember the name of it, but a grassroots one, a startup, I guess I would say, a startup black comic convention kicked off in Atlanta last year, and they'll be back this year. So let's see, I was gonna say the same thing. Wakanda is everywhere. That's what Wakanda was supposed to be. Well, even though Wakanda is like not everywhere because it was this little hidden place, they didn't really want to let the world in. They were like, no, we ain't trying to bring in no refugees. Cause they come with problems. No, we ain't trying to give everybody a weapon. No, we're not trying to save everybody. And that was my biggest lesson. Is like, look, you can't tell everybody everything. You can't help everybody with everything. You just can't. Sometimes you just got to go help a person, but leave them where they are. You have to wait. I know. What was your takeaway if you have seen the movie? What is your expectation if you have yet to see the movie? And like I said, I don't want people to be disappointed thinking it's some Shaka Zulu type stuff. That's different, right? This is a comic book superhero, who finds out a secret in his family, which no spoilers, and they deal with it from there on, Hey, Tachi. And Tachi, I'm going to challenge Tachi, y'all. TZ Bailey, hello, because I know Tachi is our Shuri. Okay, Tachi, which one? All these black women that y'all see on this thing, those was with the natural hair and all that. What? I'm sorry. Okay, we're gonna let my protector style sisters come on up in this too. I'm trying to be Wakanda. I'm trying not to leave nobody out. So my protector style sisters, they in it too. But I'm just saying. I'm going to challenge Tachi because she has mastered, more so than I, the ability to get us all into a stream. Okay? Now, my generation of getting us all in was back there with the Google Hangout. And then I wasn't even the master then. I had another friend who was the master then. But I'm going to challenge Tachi to get us all on a Hangout. And we're gonna really dissect this thing. And Tachi, I think we should do like our mentor master Rose Scott, who's on the air right now, and I'm not listening to. Daggone it. I think we should have a couple of the women, Dora Minjali, right? No, Dora Milaje panel with the women, and then we should have the men, the Panthers, right? And then we should have a coming together kind of thing. So I'm going to we used to have a couple other platforms to do that, but I know that Tachi, being the media master that she is, we're going to challenge her. I want you on Wednesday. I message you. See what I'm saying? I just got to read my messages. Okay, cool. So, and luckily, guys, if you guys are not following Tachi and Mediascope, she does on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't know what time that is, Wakanda time. What time is that, Wakanda? I mean, check your, do the math. But join her, and she keeps us abreast of all these things. And Tachi, if you would, on Wednesday, be prepared to give us all these different conventions, because that's one of the things, because we know whenever we experience something like this, there are those who want more, who really want more. And so we want to talk about a little bit about Comic-Con schedule, MomoCon, DragonCon, and all of those things, because the blessing of that is, and this is why Tachi, as well as myself, try to get you guys involved in, we're talking creatives now, try to get you involved, or even as consumers. It's time to bring more consumers into the film festival level, is that you would, if you had supported Black Panther at the film festival level, you could have watched this movie with Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, Chadwick Boseman, Lupita, and God, I'm still trying to roll her name off my tongue, the other girl. You would, if you supported this at the film festival level, that's what the film festivals do. You go in and you watch a movie with the director and with his cast and help them refine the movie so that they then can go to the capitalists and get the money. So the creative, what has got to happen, because this is where Monique failed, because she went to the capitalists, and the capitalists like, well, do you have the consumer? And yes, she had a consumer, but she didn't have the larger part of the consumers. She had her consumers, and her consumers weren't loud enough, right? It's all right to have your own consumers, consumers. It's all right to have your own. Like, I have my own following. I ain't trying to get the entire 60%. I know my 20%, right? But but when I get ready, like right now, coming back to this game, and I'm getting ready to go back to capitalists, whereas before I used to roll to the capitalists and they'd be like, DryerBuzz, let's write that check, girl, because they know they're gonna get a return on investment. But now the audience has dictated a change that ain't exactly altogether positive. So now it's a different thing where I used to be able to get a seat, get in front of a billionaire here and a millionaire there, and a grassroots this, that, and the other. It's different. It's different because, I've been in this game a long time, but it's changed and the audience has changed. See, just like Monique, when she was trying to look, here's my audience, and I'm gonna need a little bit more than 500,000, and then here come this big, loud, wrong consumer. You ain't got to give her no money. I'm like, who the hell are y'all to tell Netflix they ain't got to give her no money? I'm like, what the? I'm sorry, I went totally off script there. But that's what it boiled down to, right? And Monique is like, what the? You ain't even my customer, no man. You ain't my consumer. You ain't never been in my shows. Monique was selling out that weekend. Y'all don't understand. Monique had sold out shows. But here come this consumer that ain't never bought a Monique ticket talking about she ain't relevant. It's like, we like Tiffany. Okay, well, Tiffany can't be on stage unless all these other women was on stage. See, you gotta learn. See, I done already went out there. There's a game on Facebook right now that asks you which character you are. And I done already came up as Killmonger and T'Challa. It's like if you witty, the game says you got a little wit to you, you're Killmonger. If you straightforward, you just and I ain't trying to be T'Challa because okay, that's a spoiler. I'm just not trying to be that Panther. I mean, I think everybody want to be Killmonger anyway because it's just a difference of ideology, and that was another thing that came out of the movie is. No spoilers, but the two ideologies, two methodologies of how we get this done. And it rang in your neighborhood, it rings in my neighborhood, your history, my history, your ethnicity, my ethnicity. And damn it if it didn't make its way all the way to Wakanda. And that is, who really has the best way for us to get done what needs to get done? Did I say that without giving up any spoilers? I hope I did. Because that's just what it boiled out. That's why the villain is really not a villain. Okay, that's why the superhero really is not a superhero. Because it really takes everybody's role. Everybody has a role in that. Because, I walked out of the film and some people are mad because women walked out of the film like, wait a minute, that movie was all about, they were like, who was the star of the movie? It was Okoye. I'm like, why wasn't the movie called, I'm over here like, why wasn't the movie called Okoye? Because, damn, she set it off, and she ended it, okay? And everybody else had a role in between. I just want to know, why wasn't the movie called Okoye? Because when I go to DragonCon, I'm going to be dressed as Okoye. I'm just saying, right? That's what I took away, right? The General of the Dora Milaje, give me that word, spell it out for me, because I keep switching my L and my J. Right? My name is Yolanda. It rhymes with Wakanda. I just figure I would be the one to be the Wakanda whisperer. Write that down. Somebody write that down. The Wakanda whisperer. Would not Yolanda be the natural Wakanda whisperer? That's the next Marvel film. It better be because it sure was. I was like, girl, she was giving me life. And when and the twist and turn in the movie when she was like, no. I'm loyal to that throne. And everybody else was getting all out of pocket. She was like, no. I'm not going with you. I was like, girl, go ahead. Just go on. And then at the end, there's a line in the movie, no spoilers. There's a line in the movie that I think will replace the line in Love and Basketball. Now, you can't touch Love and Basketball, right? The Double or Nothing. You can't touch Yolanda the Wakanda Whisper. Thank you. I remember that. I have to see it so I remember. I don't remember what I said. And plus, social media is new copyright. Okay. But remember in the movie Love and Basketball when he said Double or Nothing? There's a line in I keep wanting to call the movie Wakanda, in Black Panther, that I think will replace. I guess I can say the line. Can I say the line without it being a spoiler, Tachi? When Homeboy rode up on the beast and she stepped in front of the beast, is that not? I don't want to give any spoilers. I told her, okay, I can say the line when he said, "You would kill me, my love." And she looked at him, and I was so taken by that line. I don't even remember what happened after that. I don't even know who she stepped in front of, because right then and there, it just stole my heart. That was my moment in life. That was my moment. Who did she step in front of? I gotta go. I'm gonna have to finish my lunch and go see this movie again. I got to go see it again because it was so much coming at you the first time. Who did she? I don't know who I can't remember who she stepped in front of, because he was rolling up on the it was rhinoceros. What the hell was that? Who did she step in front of? I can't even remember. Was it the Panther? Hell, I don't even know. But when he said, "You would kill me, my love," and I'm like, you checking her loyalty again. Love and loyalty, y'all. That's another part, and I'm making sure my phone not too hot. Love and loyalty. That was another one, y'all. And let me tell y'all, honey, T'Challa, was he rolling up on T'Challa? I gotta go back. And let me tell y'all, ladies, I'm gonna need y'all to stop doing that deep dive, okay? Yes, M'Baku, he was sexy as all get out in that film. I'm gonna need y'all to stop deep diving. Need you stay right there. Just stay right there. Love and loyalty, right? Stop deep diving. Let me tell you, when you fall in love, for those of you that new to this acting thing, and again, Tachi is a filmmaker, when you fall in love with these people in these roles, stay right there. You don't want to meet these actors. I'm just saying, because it's a role. You don't want to meet them. I'm going back for a third time. I wanted to see the IMAX, but the people that came out that went to the IMAX said our IMAX had some problems. Right, Tachi? Stay right there. You don't want to meet Homeboy. You ain't trying to know, because you're going to be like, huh? Yeah, all that masculinity that he brought to that role, that was the moment. Stop trying. It's just like, look up above. Look at the picture I posted right there. Y'all, go over there and look at that Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone has a cover of Chadwick Boseman on it. That is the worst picture of Chadwick I have ever seen. People are like, ooh, Rolling Stone, y'all need to do a reshoot. I don't know how y'all, where, I don't know what. He looked like Drunk Diddy. Okay, I'm going to go to the IMAX. Y'all, please go out there. And you can go on my page. Look at Chadwick on that Rolling Stone cover. He looked like Drunk Diddy. Like Diddy done woke up from one of his epic parties. It's like, and I put, this is when a Black Panther, the next morning, Black Panther becomes the alley cat. They got him all pimped out. Girl, the lining. Y'all, look, you can see that, what y'all call the taco meat, the chest hair. Look at the chest hair, the taco meat chest hair. It's Drunk Diddy. Look, I said Drunk Diddy. I don't know why that word is, I done said drunk everything today. Drunk anthem. We got to talk about Homegirl in that anthem, too. Y'all, but wait, please go and look at Chadwick, how they got Chadwick Boseman. And the funny part about it in the movie, Michael B. Jordan was all cut. Oh my God, he was so cut. I'm like, boy, if I didn't have 20 years on you, you'd be in trouble. But anyway, Derek Patterson. No, Derek, you don't want to look at this, but ladies, please go and look at this picture. Look at that thing up. Look, I just had to I had to squeeze him over in the corner. I really just wanted to use that picture. I'm like, nah, we're going to put him over there squeeze him over there in the corner. That's all we need to see. The taco meat chest and belly. Okay, they had him in looked like some leather pants. Okay, then he had on this bear skin with the daggone tweed inside. Got to coordinate. See, we done told folk, listen, when y'all are on these photo shoots, okay, you got to say no. Just say no. Just they say, no, listen, I'm going to need a haircut. I'm going to need, somebody going to have to cut this off. Because what people don't know, and this is another thing between in making the movie, because your boy from Get Out, he was on the interview circuit, and I'm like, okay, he ain't getting no per diem or something, because I'm like, this dude was looking kind of rough. And when you're not in the process of making a movie, I mean, they have to go in their own pocket. And you got to understand, you make a movie, you got to wait for 2 years. You get their check to make the movie, and then you got to live for 2 years till that movie come out to start getting them residuals. And, you got to have you just got to have another way of living. And, Chadwick, he got major movies, so he got good residuals, I hope, coming out. Michael B. Jordan, he got a couple of good things, but I don't know what the residual is on that. But Monique done already told y'all how this thing worked, right? So I'm looking like, because even in the movie, the guy from Get Out, he was looking pretty good. But on the tour, when they was on the press tour, I'm like, okay, come on, we got to cut these people some per diem checks so they can go get this stuff done. And y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop not giving these people some good fashions and styling and all that kind of stuff. Because just imagine, and this is where I know probably a lot of people are upset, because they probably had no idea. You just have no idea things can be as epic as they can. And we just got so much glimpse into this hashtag. We live in public. We live in public. We see it all. We know it all. People are mad because people jumping online and saying this. That's what online is. That's what social media is. Everybody has a voice. Everybody has an audience. Everybody came out of the movie doing a review, and they're doing a review for their audience, right? Those consumers. That's 60%. That's consumers. That's 30%. That's creatives. The capitalists are 10%, and really the capitalists are 1%. With 9% of those people are brokers to the capitalists. You got to get through a broker to get that dollar out of the capitalists. So y'all got to know how this stuff works. So it's not enough just to be a consumer. If media and mediums have changed, whereas you can't just be radio, you can't just be television, you can't be one thing. You can't just be a consumer, okay? And people have been trying to get you to this point a very long time. You can be unbothered. I don't mind you being unbothered. Hell, I cannot wait to get into that capitalist place where I can just be unbothered. I really want to be unbothered. I mean, that's my life's goal. And I was like, well, you had a great day today. You can kind of be unbothered. You went and got these damn $13 oxtails. That's kind of unbothered, right? Take your taste of Wakanda is unbothered, okay? Because I could have went and got, I could have had a $1 cheeseburger. That ain't my life right now. You kind of unbothered. So anyway, on this movie, the movie was Black Panther. If you have not seen it, what are you waiting for? Some people have said they're waiting because it's too much hype. And I understand that. That's me sometime, but I needed to go because I'm back blogging. I got to have this contest. I had to go on in there and get it. What was the other part? What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, movie called Black Panther. I keep wanting to say Black Planet. And that's another thing. Like, y'all love Wakanda, but y'all was hating on Black Planet. And this is the thing where people are being called out. Shout out to everybody that has found a reason to call people out. That's what I love. Because I love debates. I love great debates. So shout out to everybody that has found something of which to call people out on. You love Wakanda, but you were ashamed to be on Black Planet. I don't understand. I don't understand. And so at the same time, so did everybody go renew their... Somebody was following, somebody tweeted me something on Twitter. I went to their profile, and they still had a MySpace link. And I was like, go ahead. I'm not mad at you, because MySpace is going to come back one day. Hello, Maggie. Who's Maggie? Geraldine Evans. Did Maggie come on? Hey, Dad. My dad came in. Tracy Lynn came in as well. So shout out to everybody that has found something of which to call people out on, and you are using your platform to have that dialogue. That's really important. It's really important. But for those of you that, like I said, you haven't seen the movie yet, you want to wait till the hype dies down, that's fine. I went to a 10 o'clock showing, and I thought I was going to be, at least I didn't have to sit like right next to anybody, which would have been my pet peeve. But but it still was a nice full theater. We still enjoyed it. It wasn't really totally emotional for me. Probably when I go back and see it again, I'll see some of that part. I was looking at it, trying not to look at it with the critical, analytical eye, just really kind of enjoy the movie. But for those of you that know or don't know, my early blogging days, one of the first quote-unquote Hollywood interviews, and actually it was a very candid interview that I got, was with Angela Bassett. So I've had some really good discussions with her about what Hollywood does to the black actor. And so I was looking for that, and how she says that she will elect to do a role or select to do a role, how Hollywood selects her to do a role, roles that she is offered, things that she says yes to. I love the fact that Angela Bassett is on television right now. That's another post that I did. I said, well, because people are saying, well, how y'all liking this actor, like the General in the Door Milaje, when she was just on Walking Dead. Well, I can't sit through Walking Dead. One of my and I won't even say really good friends, but we came out of the same neighborhood, and I did a wonderful interview with him, and I was supportive of him very early on in his career, and that's T-Dog, right? And T-Dog was on The Walking Dead, and he now has a one-man show that's touring called Blindsided by The Walking Dead, and you'll either know him from Walking Dead or from the movie Blindside, and I follow along with what they're doing. And actually, the last time I ran into him wasn't here in our hometown of Atlanta. I ran into him at Comic-Con because he goes on tour with all of these conventions, and people line up around the block to buy a selfie with him, to buy his autograph. That's something. Listen, let me tell y'all, if you have not gone to a convention before and this has captured your attention and you realize that there's going to be a major convention, a comic book convention, a video game convention in your city, you're going for the first time, you can't roll up on people and be taking no selfies. They make money off of that stuff. And they make money interacting with their fans. So, and then you go and you get to have the panel. But what I love that the movie is now finally out is that from now on, listen to me, from now to eternity, as long as there is a convention, there will be a Black Panther panel, and it will include Chadwick Boseman. It will include Michael B. Jordan. It will include Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler will now sit at the head of the table with the great minds that were behind Star Wars, with the great minds that are behind all these damn franchises. Nightmare on Elm Street, all of those different things. Going to see Black Panther tomorrow. Thanks for the heads up. So, yeah, and that's why I just want to say, those that are still going, right, Tati? See, that's why I say you have to understand as a consumer. That's why I say you have to be more than a consumer. It's just not about that movie, that moment you spent at the movie. You now get to have a moment with them every year from now on. From now on. And not to mention these amazing next 3 quarters, when you look at this as an industry, this movie coming out in first quarter is amazing. Because now the next phase, things that will happen in the second quarter, things that will happen in the third quarter, things that there's going to be probably a $45. Because right now the top DVD price that I've seen for some of the top movies that have not grossed as much as this movie, and just like you worried about them being shorted at the movie theater, they can then still be shorted along the way because there are other things that now have to go in place. I want to see a $45 DVD. The highest price on a DVD I've seen is $39, and I think that movie La La Land was $39. They had a $4 DVD to a $39 DVD, which, it goes up, starts out at your basic DVD, might have some special features, then it goes up to being your Blu-ray, your HD, and there's one DVD that might have hours upon hours of special features on there, including the movie with director's commentary. If you are a diehard film fan, this movie will come out with director's commentary. Now, I'm a little mad that they posted that interview with Ryan Coogler with the subtitles, because he has a strong accent. He has a very strong, I don't know if it was a West Coast thing, I don't know exactly where he's from, like collector's edition. Yes, mind you, when you go to the movie, they already have a $20 popcorn tin that you can get. Okay, I'm like, why didn't I get my 10? When I left out, I was so excited to go and blog about it. I forgot to go back and get my popcorn tin. I never would have eaten a large thing of popcorn, but they have a $20 popcorn tin at the Regal Cinemas. If you go to a Regal Cinema, they have some collector items already there. But I cannot wait to watch this movie with he's from Oakland. Yeah, it's a very thick accent. So in just a little snippets that they have online from the interview he did with Variety, they had subtitles. So, and he speaks as fast as I do. So I understand that. I definitely understand that. But I'm excited because the minute that DVD, can you imagine pre-orders for the DVD? Because not only that, the DVD might have some alternate endings. The DVD is going to have special features. The DVD is going to give you all the history of Wakanda. You're gonna get probably the making of it. Because when Itachi knows his best, when they're making a film, somebody's making a film of the making of the film. Somebody's making a film of the making of the film. All the actors have their somebody walking around doing their bio, and all of that content comes out on the DVD and on the DVD at various levels. Like the basic DVD might have the movie with the director's commentary. The next DVD might have, an extra 20 minutes of stuff. But that $30, $40 DVD, Blu-ray, 4D, HD 4D, that one is going to have some amazing stuff on there, including probably interviews. What about soundtrack? Okay. I'm still trying to remember what was the movie. Now, I saw the little film that the little girls were dancing to, music that went along with the Dora Milaje. Is it Milaje or Majali? Malaje. I think it is Milaje. The Dora Milaje. I remember the music from that, Step Into the Spotlight, because I stole that myself for my own. I stole that from a Super Bowl commercial, I believe I did. What's the last commercial? No, I stole that. How many of y'all have not made your own Wakanda commercial? See, okay, let's go back. We moved from consumer. Let's go back over to creative. Okay, Yate. I remember telling you, go make your Wakanda commercial. Yate has, talk about finding your place in the supply chain. In that everybody wanted to wear wraps, Yate already has a business where she sells your Roots t-shirt, not like Roots the movie, but your hair Roots t-shirts, natural Roots t-shirts, hair wraps and things like that. So she had already come out with her Black Panther commercial before opening weekend. She was right on the money, right? So there are a lot of people who have Stanley Ferguson, hello. There are a lot of people who have products because this thing is not just movie weekend. And think about it. We had opening weekend and you got your regular weekend, but then you have a whole year. Christmas, okay? By the time Christmas comes, it should be on television. Because the next place it's going to go is Netflix, if they do the Netflix deal. Yes, anyone is selling anything African-made, killing. I was like, we need to go get some dashikis, get out in front of this movie theater. I mean, I don't understand not selling anything, okay? That's why I was like, let me get my talking points together because there's going to be many a chance. I mean, in Tachi, we might need to get us a panel together and submit a panel. I mean, with your filmmaker knowledge and great debates, and get a couple people with what you're doing. And don't forget, guys, Tachi is pulling a panel together for her media scope, which is going to happen tomorrow. It's one of the best looks at what has happened and I'm going to see if I can get this right, tech and pop culture through the week, and she does a great summary of that and airs it online on Wednesdays. And so she says she's already sent a message promoted the Real Roots Pride. There you go. Yate has Real Roots Pride collection. And so when you talk about something happening at the right time, this was the right time. And this is the right audience for that. But don't miss a moment. Get in there. Make sure you all get in there. So I think that without giving you any spoilers, for those who have not seen the movie, for those of you that are so ready to talk about this movie, unfortunately, we got to wait one more day. Normally, we would talk about it on Monday. I even want to go in and break down. We'll do it tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow, I will be live with, I'm hoping I'll be live with Jason for Taste of Wakanda. And we're going to, I want to make something with sweet potatoes. Because one thing I know, Tachi, is another discussion that came out of this, and some said, and we're all voicing what we've heard, what we've been told, what we've been taught, what's been, what agendas have been put at us, is one thing that we saw on this movie is the diaspora coming together. You had Brits playing Americans, Americans playing Africans, and the dialect and all these kind of things. There's so much that we don't know about each other. There's so much that has come out over the descendants of who we are. The descendants of who we are. There's an article out there that does talk about the tension between the African and the Black Americans, as well as the diaspora. And I'm pretty sure the Africans, probably got some tensions with what we call the Black Brits and the Black Brits. Because, I'm still in my feelings that whole Oscar year where they nominated nothing but Black Brits. And I'm like, well, weren't we kind of like boycotting at that time? I don't know. But there's some things that we've all been told about each other that, successfully divided us. And we have to, at some point, all be heard. I'm all about everybody being heard. I understand where we are. I understand, how we got here. But we have to, in order for us to get beyond it, you can't get beyond it unless you let everybody be heard. But then sometimes the best way to get beyond it, and I had to tell my daughter this yesterday, sometimes we might not even need to say anything. Let's just decide right now, we're beyond that. Okay? Because when we bring it up, when we continue to bring it up, we already know what happened. We already know who did what, who said what, and yeah, okay, we were told some things, they were told some things, but regardless of what we were all told, there are the facts that are out there that are clearly defined at this point that we live in public. Let's just decide that we are beyond that. We're gonna be beyond it, and we're not gonna come back to it. That's what Wakanda is. And that's what this movie did. Because I love the dynamic of T'Challa and Killmonger. Killmonger being the child of the brother, and I don't think this is a spoiler thing, an American woman, right? And then at the same time, them being cousins and polar. Now I don't understand they were polar opposites, right? They just had different methodologies. And one of the posts that I did, I talked about, we just celebrated Booker T. Washington. Well, Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois, although they wanted us to arrive at the same place, they had two very different ways in which we should go to get there. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, although they wanted us to arrive at the same place, they had two very different ways in which we were to get there. We can go on and continue. I said Cornel West and everybody. Cornel West is beefing with everybody, but everybody wants us to get to the same place. And Cornel West and Tavis and the whole Obama thing. All of those things. We always seem to come back, and that's why I talk about. And I'm going to end here, guys. Let me see if I can get a time on here. Yep, we almost at an hour. Perfect. And I want to say this before my phone explodes on me. But actually, my phone is actually doing pretty good. It's hanging in there. Thank you, Apple, for the replacement. It's a little warm. It's not hot and no temperature warning. But one of the things when we continue to talk about the burden of the Black superhero, exactly, between all of them, there was something for everybody. There is, and that's the thing about it right there, Yate. There's something for everybody. All we got to do is just continue to express it out loudly. You know what, Yate? There's something for everybody. Don't forget to look at your message. We'll do. There's something for everybody, Tachi and Yate. The hardest part is getting everybody to tell you what they want. That's where we are. Because I got you. But if I don't know what it is you want, you might see me like I'm over here eating my oxtails. Now, I ain't tearing up these bones like everybody else, right? I'm just like going to put a little piece of meat off of it and I'm done with it. Somebody else might look at it like, she just wasting their food. tell me you want it. Because I might just close it up, put it in the fridge. There's something for everybody, but everybody can't say what they want, and they surely can't say what they need. Wakanda was something for everybody. But if you sit back and don't know how to say, well, y'all, I want to go to the movie, I ain't got it right now. Somebody probably would have said, hey, listen, come on and go with me. I went by myself. And I'm finna go again by myself because I'm like, I'm just not that person to be sitting people like, what time we going? Can you go? We got to wait next week. What you mean wait next week? We finna go now. You know, I mean, there's something for everybody. This planet right now has something for everybody. The biggest thing to do is to be able to tell. The biggest courage, the biggest thing, confidence is being able to say what you need and what you want. And you know, that's another debate that we have, whether somebody's saying need versus want. You know, the biggest debate between men and women right now is men want women to say they need them. Women don't want to need. They want to be able to say they want them. And that keeps us apart. It's like the man wants you to say, tell me you need me. Like in the movie where he said, you would kill me, my love. And she was like, looking at him like, step, make a move. You like me, I'm ready to go. I'm telling you. So, you know, hey, I'm just like, and you said, I got to go back and see it because there were certain parts where I was just overwhelmed. There were certain parts I was laughing too hard. There were certain parts. There was so much in this movie that was just absolutely enjoyable. You know, and I understand some people can't get what, you know, and mainstream is loving it and it can't be right. I understand that. There are certain people, they not going, hey, listen, everybody's right. Everybody is right. You do the designs of your heart. The designs of your heart. That's what you do. That's what you do. Because let me tell you, I hadn't been to a Hollywood movie. I've been boycotting Hollywood way before Monique started. And I was like, well, wait a minute. I got to go see this Black Panther. It had Angela Bassett. And me having sat down and interviewed Angela Bassett years ago, I know what it takes for her to say yes to a role. And I was like, if Angela's in it, it must be cool. Let me go. You know, and not only that, I know there are certain actors, when they go and do certain projects, they take that money and they do something good. They recycle their money, honey. So we know, and y'all please listen. Please go and support Taraji. Taraji is about to have the second or third movie coming out. And we didn't really go after, you know, and people might have wanted to see it, but and don't expect every movie to manipulate the emotions of people. Like right now, they talking about hashtag Wakanda the vote. That's coming from two different sides where people are saying, well, if y'all had voted the way y'all wrote, that ain't what people do. So, you know, we already know. But there is an initiative called, I'm going to give y'all a couple of hashtags here. There is an initiative called Wakanda the vote, meaning that going forward, I think at a couple of screenings, or they will have screenings and register to vote. Now, registering people to vote is really kind of tricky. So, but this one, I think it was posted. I want to say it was posted by either a legit news outlet or one of our larger organizations, like a National Urban League or something like that. But hashtag Wakanda the vote. If you want to catch one of their screenings, you can definitely check that out. I also got to mention some of the philanthropical endeavors that went on. A number of people, organizations, celebrities, and so forth took children to see this movie. There was a group here in Atlanta that took a group of children, and they said these children had never been inside a movie theater. And I know that's absolutely possible from my days of being involved in the community. There are kids who just never really get off their block. They never mind the fact that they live in food deserts. Certainly there's no entertainment for them. They don't live in communities like we did, where we can go around the block, up the block, and go to the movie theater. I mean, we have to be mindful of that. Some of us are enjoying some wonderful Wakanda lives, but there are, you know, and the thing, let me tell y'all, so I'm going to tell you this from hindsight and from experience. When you pour into a child, okay, I mean, just the least bit of Black Panther challenge. Oh, that's another one. We got to check that out. Hashtag Black Panther challenge. When you do something for a child that the world has never stepped to them to do, it leaves such a lasting and personable impression. I have young people, and I call them young people to this day, they're probably 30 and 40 years old, still coming up to me and thanking me for things that I did in my community 20 and 30 years ago, going into these schools. You know, if you're not, how often are you seeing there's a school in your neighborhood? Keep your eye on that school. See if you see any buses rolling up to that school taking kids on field trips. Kids don't even go on field trips the way they used to. I remember going in my own personal check and taking $250 up to the school. Now my kids, and I got 4 kids, and my kids didn't even go to that school. And I was like, I went up to the school and I was like, you know, why am I not seeing field trips going on over here? And they just didn't have it in the budget. And I was like, well, how much does the bus cost, right? And they were like $250. And I was like, here, $250, because I know, because that was just who I am. And I gave them $200, like, take this somewhere. And they were like, well, okay, here go 50 students, take them somewhere. I'm like, wait, you want me to take them? And I ended up going back to that school 3 days a week, working with those same 50 students. They gave me 50 students just as a concerned citizen, obviously one who passed a background check. Gave me 50 students to work with in that school. I then went over, like, say for like days like today when kids are out of school, these kids could see from their school over into the AU Center, right? But they had no idea what a university center was. They had no idea that they're supposed to aspire to strive to a level of excellence in their middle school so that they can go to college up the street, right? That they had 4 great colleges and universities. I'm like, to this top of that building, that's Spelman and Morehouse and Clark Atlanta and the seminary theological center. They had no idea what that was, because in between that AU Center and their front porch was death. Okay? Hear me when I say the word, guys. From their porch to the AU Center was death. And all they know is that people, when they go that route, they have died. No, they weren't going over there to get educated because, you know, in their minds, oh, that's where all, you know, you remember the movies used to say something about the townies and then the college kids, you know. So they were, in essence, the townies. They didn't aspire to go to school over there. And so what I did was I said, well, each day I told this school, well, each day, like when they have teachers planning day or school holidays, give me my students and I will take them over there. So what we did, we paired them up with a college student. So if the school was in, we would then get transportation, which basically cost virtually nothing, but it was outside of the budget of the school. Get transportation, have the parents sign off. Whatever parent we can get to stop what they were doing for a minute and sign off on it. We take the kids, they would go and they would shadow a college student. Do you know that the majority of the kids that went on those little trips with me, the majority of them became teachers? And see, that's why I talk about by design. So, and I'm going to jump off of here and bring it back to this. We live in a world that is by design. If you are not helping to design it, it can't do anything but cave in on you. I want to thank Ryan Coogler. Let's thank Stan Lee. Let's thank Marvel. Let's thank, I don't even know who the primary picture person was on this, but design something. You cannot, and I know we hear it all the time, everybody can't be a consumer. Somebody has to be the creative and somebody has to be the capitalist. In my mind, it breaks out to 60% consumers, 30% creatives, and 10% capitalists. Everybody can't be the consumer. If you walked away from Black Panther and your mind and your wheels are turning, you're trying to figure this thing out, you might be a creative. If you got money, okay? If you got money, Eric L. Jackson, you might be a capitalist. Go get with the creative and go keep Wakanda flowing. If you walked out of that movie and you like, man, I would like some more of that, but you know, I could write. If you came out of there saying, man, I could write like that, I could I could make that outfit. I could wear that outfit to the club on Friday. I could rock that hairstyle. I could fix that food. I could do this. I could work that herb. If you came out of the movie thinking like that, you might be a creative. One of the things, lastly, very much so lastly, with a lot of people asking me as I put my blogging hat back on, as I put my creative hat back on, as I come back in as a capitalist, and the events and things that I host, one of the things that we're going to focus on this year is that whole conversation of being a consumer, a creative, and a capitalist, when we host Breakfast with DryerBuzz. And then on the 27th of each month, I don't care what it is, but on the 27th, because I wrote the book, 27 Answers to Create Buzz, on the 27th of each month, I will have a global event, meaning that it's going to be local to Atlanta. But you guys will be able to listen in and look in, and we definitely have a global audience out there. So on the 27th, we will have a networking event, and I'm just going to say networking at this point. We're still trying to figure out the tracks that each event needs to be on. Breakfast with DryerBuzz. March is going to be our 16th anniversary, the 16th anniversary of DryerBuzz.com. You might be a creative Wakanda forever. Yes, hello, Vanessa. So on the 27th, so on your calendar, go ahead and book up the 27th of the month. Hey, Omar, and look to either meet up with us, listen in, or look in. Also, I have a meeting this week for the podcast. We'll be bringing the podcast back. I like doing this Facebook, and like I said, I was trying to find a device that'll support it. It looks like this one might work, guys. We've lasted, but I do want to hit this stop button before it does crash and I lose what I have here. So I want to share that. So if you please go out, support the movie. If at the end of the movie your wheels are turning, you might want to live a life that is now Wakanda forever. You might want a taste of Wakanda. You might want a Wakanda to vote. You might want to do the Black Panther challenge. You might just be more than a consumer. Is that how I should say that, Yate? You might be more than a consumer if you want more from just sitting in that seat and watching the movie. And we're going to help you figure out what that is with all the stuff that we do at DryerBuzz. Don't forget, tomorrow I've got an invite to be on with Shitachi right there in this scope for what she is going to do. As for Wakanda Forever, her show is called Media Scope. Please go like her page. It airs on Wednesdays. And I think she's going to still go at the same time, which is normally 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm not sure if we're on the same time zone. But in Wakanda, there are no time zones. So make sure that you set your reminders. And listen, people, go and turn on your notifications. Turn on your notifications if they get to be too overwhelming. 7:10. Okay, 7:10 is the time frame. And put Tachi, if you would, as I end this, if you would put a link to your Media Scope page. So let me go ahead and hit stop. Thank you guys so much for listening. Somebody needs to tell me how I heat up my oxtails. In that picture right there, that is my lunch oxtails. I got, in some kind of way, they did something different with this mac and cheese. I'm like, hey, Elaine, I've never had mac and cheese with that much flavor. Okay, and I can throw down some mac and cheese. My mama can throw down some mac and cheese. My grandma could throw down some mac and cheese. But this Golden Crust mac and cheese, they got something up in here. I got to figure out what that is. Wakanda, your 27 answers. I know that's right. 27 answers to Wakanda. And it's so good, but I'm going to go heat it up. And thank you guys so much for indulging me. And please indulge everybody. Like Yate says, there's something for everybody. All you got to say is, what do you want? What do you want? What do you need? Somebody is listening, and somebody is bringing that to fruition. It's been a great day, another great debate. Thank you guys all for your comments. I hope I've got everybody's comments read in there. The conversation will continue tomorrow on Shitachi Media Scope. The conversation will continue tomorrow. And don't ever get off your live stream and not throw it to somebody else. We got to learn how to pass this thing along, y'all. And today is Monday Mention. So today, Mediascope is our Monday Mention, which means I'm about to go over there to Mediascope and share everything that she got over there. And also Yate, if people are looking for the head wraps and the t-shirts, the Wakanda gear and all that kind of stuff, Yate, if you would please, for Monday Mentions, drop your link in there. For those of you that want to go natural, that want to chop and all that, Monday Mentions always, guys, one thing we have to do is we have got to do a better job in referring each other, okay? So we don't get to moments like this and they have to be so epic. You know, it shouldn't have to be that way. All right, somebody's in my inbox trying to get me to go to NASCAR. Wait a minute. They got something free to get in NASCAR, y'all. Let me go figure out it. Somebody wants me to go to NASCAR this weekend. Oh, happy anniversary to Spike Lee. There is a screening in Atlanta and also probably in your neck of the woods for the anniversary of School Days. Today is anniversary at the taping of this podcast is the anniversary of School Days, and there are screenings all over the country. Atlanta is hosting one. Somebody is hosting one in Atlanta at the Fox Theater, and I know a number of people that were in School Days live in Atlanta, so I'm hoping that they will make an appearance, such as Jasmine Guy I know is here, and a number of other. Of course, you know School Days was filmed in Atlanta in the AU Center, so shout out on Black Panther weekend. Black Panther weekend is still the weekend because it's a holiday. So shout out to School Days, because Spike Lee set it off for our generation, and look at Ryan Coogler taking it on for his. Look at the difference in that. I'm telling y'all, okay? All right, everybody, let me hit the stop button before I lose this podcast. Thank you all so much. Don't forget, if you are seeing this on a friend's timeline, then they must be a friend of mine. You need to be too. So send a request and share. Please like and share. Bye, guys. Don't forget, filter the entire internet for DryerBuzz. Bye. Wakanda forever.